земле чужой мы уходим на караван. Караван — это радость побед и потери, боль. Караван, вновь жду встречи с тобой. Караван розовеет от крови Афганистан. Караван, караван, караван. Не привыкнуть к гражданке никак. Там все ясно, там друг есть и враг. Здесь же души людей тяжело разглядеть сквозь туман. Жалко нет его, друга одного. Навсегда его взял караван. Караван — это фляга воды, без которой смерть. Караван — это значит суметь. Караван — убивать шурави и лилит Коран. Караван, караван, караван. Не привыкнуть к тому, что совсем мне не тянет плечо АКМ. И в кустах придорожных нет мин. Здесь нет духовских банд. Только где-то там, по моим следам, что-то снова берет караван. Караван — это сотни снарядов, не легших в цель. Караван — это соль на лице. Караван — третий тост, помолчим, кто пропал, кто пан. Караван, 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 караван. Не привыкнуть никак к тишине. На войне, на войне, на войне. Тишина — это только обман, лишь обман. По тропе крутой,
Оружие убрал. Убрал, ясно?
Оружие. Привет, брат! Как бы я солдат этих конченых. Второй раз весь труп мы так за месяц забрали. Скоты. Ну что вообще жить, если ты не раскладываешь? Сидят, блин, на своих долларах. Поставь. На нашем горбу знаете.
I'm listening.
All right, tell me what you know. Wanna say something?
Нормас, нормас. Охуенно, сейчас поживимся.
сбрасывали.
Эй, сталкер, с чем пожаловал? Ну раз...
I'm sorry, I'm scared. Okay.
Okay, so I feel you tried to get a bit too quantitative with how you handle boundaries and social interactions. This seems like something you could just go with vibes on. I don't know what the list gains. It reminds me of you talking about people pushing past your boundaries and past. No, I just the more I do online stuff and the more that I associate with people, this has kind of been my mode of operating for the past like couple years, especially as I've gotten bigger. Is that what I'm trying to think? Okay, this is my dream, my goal, the hope. Okay, we're on some ultra soy shit. Okay, the hope is that like good and truth will prevail. Okay, that as long as you're being truthful and as long as you're a decently good person, that will show in the long term. However, I have to be able to demonstrate that. So I can't let people have fake stories or fake narratives that there's no counter narrative out about. So if I blacklist somebody, there needs to be a good reason for it, and I need to be able to immediately point to it so that somebody can't lie about it. And so hopefully over time when people do lie about it, so for instance when Fuentes lies about like not deplatforming people, like I can point to, you know, like, oh no, like look, here's him tweeting and spam reporting people, you know, trying to get people banned or whatever. So I think that being truthful is important, but being truthful is important, but then you also need the perception of being truthful, meaning that you have to illustrate how you're being truthful. So that's the point of like trying to keep shit in writing and then like providing like links and sources for stuff, basically, yeah. $30 minutes, bro. You've got 5 minutes to put me in on this.
I wanted to talk to you guys about something today. I apologize, because it'll probably be a bit hard.
Less than 3.
I won't have, the chat on the screen because I can't read it right now. I also turned off all the alerts so I could talk. I'm sorry. I didn't think I would cry. Funny enough, I wrote it down because I didn't think, I thought I wouldn't
Just
have
as a quick refresher, okay, remember, the reason why we go public about this stuff, the reason why quote-unquote Me Too, okay, exists, is because it was really, really, really hard to hold some people accountable. All right? So people would be like masturbating people or using sex as a bargaining chip against people they had a lot of power over, stuff like this. There was no way to hold them to account. The legal system didn't do anything. Nobody in the industry was doing anything, which is horrible. And then as a last resort, basically, well, I'm gonna go public and see who else has had these issues as a warning to other people. That was the point of this. It's not supposed to be it's not supposed to be an area where you just get to vent your frustrations. Even if somebody does something bad, it's not supposed to be like, oh, like I'm just gonna complain about bad stuff that's happened to me or somebody did something bad. Now, I don't know what this is, but we'll see, you know.
Anything to say? You know, I thought I'd freeze up when I went live, which I kind of have, but I didn't think I'd cry. I wrote down what I want to say on stream today. I hope that's okay. Because I get really anxious when talking about important things. And I don't want to miss-say anything. And I want to make sure that I'm saying everything I want to. And in order to do that, I wrote it down last night.
There's a massive difference between what Destiny just said and the Jonah Hill X situation where she outed him for being a bad boyfriend because... Wait, I don't know if you think I defended or didn't defend that, but I hope I didn't at the time. I don't know why she leaked anything. That was really weird and cringe. I don't know why she leaked anything about Jonah Hill. I thought it was stupid.
Because I knew I would be like this. And I knew I wouldn't be able to talk properly. So... I probably won't, I again apologize, I probably won't look up during the stream. I'll be reading on my phone. But I wanted to read this instead of tweet it because I wanted it to come from me. And I want you guys to hear it from me. It's really hard for me to talk about, but I feel like it's important for other people to hear it. I'm sorry, I'm scared.
Okay, so I guess axe murderer, multi-level rapist, extremely powerful industry figure with multiple women under his thumb. That's where my mind is right now. If we're scared to talk about this, it has to be said. We're trying to help other people. That's what my mind is prepped for. Okay. Whew. All right.
I'm gonna start. Shit,
Yeah, necromancer, maybe. Yeah.
I look fucking nuts. Okay. I want to start this by saying I wouldn't be here without Shelby. I was ready to disappear with this secret forever. I never knew that creators were allowed to talk about these kinds of things, and I guess I'm still new to it all. I just didn't feel brave enough, and I still don't. But her strength made me feel like it may be okay. A little while ago, my story had almost been leaked without me knowing, so here it is on my terms. Here's my story. Last year, at the beginning of summer, I was assaulted by a significantly older and popular content creator. I was freshly 18 and had just graduated high school a few weeks prior. I was
My last lunch period. It was only 74 days ago. Okay.
drunk in a hotel room with other people around me when it happened. He was someone I had once watched, and he was 8 years older than me, and far more powerful.
Does the age or the power have anything to do with this? We'll see. Let's find out. Hold on.
I'm so proud of you and your bravery.
The full story is quite short. It was at a convention in a hotel room. It was my first convention I was invited to, so I stuck by one of my best friends the entire time.
Why make fun of an assault victim? Destiny, why do you do this? Because there's no reason for this stuff to be online. If you're presenting it publicly, it's for us to evaluate. So if it's stupid, of course I'm gonna laugh at it. You don't get to just dump shit like this online and expect infinite validation because it just encourages the next person to do this. This shit is stupid. Well, this might not be stupid. I don't know this story yet, okay? To be clear. So far, the loading on all of it sounds really dramatic and dumb, but we'll see. It might be serious. I don't know. I don't know fuck all about any of this, okay? But there might be a good reason to have this online. But so far, like, something that I've said, I hate repeating these fucking lines every single time. Something that I've said over and over again, something that got lost somewhere in the online discourse is red flags are not black flags. Red flags are not auto no's or auto bads, okay? That's not an automatically bad thing. A red flag just means a thing to be aware of. That's all it means. An age difference is just a thing to be aware of. Power differences are just things to be aware of, okay? That's it. It doesn't automatically mean no. Every single relationship has power dynamic differences. Every single one. The idea that it's like, he was 8 years older than me, that's only relevant if he used that 8 years of age. Or they were so much more powerful. That's only relevant if that came up. So for instance, like if, let's say that how hyperbolic do I want to be? Let's say that a celebrity meets with a fan and hooks up with them, and then let's say the celebrity rips the fan, okay? Even in that situation, there's not necessarily an abuse of power. You would have to figure out what the interaction looked like. It might just be a rip. Now, let's say that the people were chatting, they met up, they were in a hotel room, like, oh yeah, cool, let's hook up, blah, blah, and then they do that, and then the guy rapes or whatever, tragic and horrible, but like, not necessarily an abuse of power. Let's say that the guy was chatting with her, she was like, oh, well, I don't know if I'm gonna meet up, I'm not sure how I feel about this, and the guy's like, okay, but hey, I'm your favorite YouTuber, I'm your favorite singer, like, don't you wanna have a chance to hang out, blah, blah, blah. That is an abuse of power, right? In one sense, both things have like the red flag of it being like a celebrity and a fan, but in only one of the cases of the red flags did he actually act on or abuse that power difference to the person. Just because something bad happens doesn't mean it happened because of all the other things that are there. It's just this, yeah. Ugh.
I was nervous but excited about it all and felt really grown up. One night we were at a house party when we decided to leave. It was me, my best friend, and her other friend. His other friend was romantically talking to a really big creator at the time. He was also the best friend of my soon-to-be assaulter. She wanted to go back to his hotel room, but didn't want to romantic. One night we were at a house party when we decided to leave. It was me, my best friend, and her other friend.
This might be pedantic, but I think you're describing yellow flags because I've always understood red flags to be stop. I think these people confuse yellow flag. I've never heard the term yellow flag in my life. I've always heard red flag, and red flag is generally always meant just be careful. Like big age gap, oof, that's a red flag, be careful. I've never heard red flag to mean completely stop and go no further. Like, oh, you know, mommy issues, red flag, or oh, this thing, red flag, you know, they're poor, they've got a lot of credit card debt, that's a red flag. I've never heard that being like a red flag is like, stop completely, don't go to, red flag is just like, oh shit, that's the thing to be careful of, be aware of. But.
It all and felt really grown. It was my first convention I was invited to, so I stuck by one of my best friends the entire time. I was nervous but excited about it all and felt really grown up. One night we were at a house party when we decided to leave. It was me, my best friend, and her other friend. His other friend was romantically talking to a really big creator at the time. He was also the best friend of my soon-to-be assaulter. She wanted to go back to his hotel room, but didn't want to go alone, so we went with her. I didn't really mind, as I was up for anything. When we got to the hotel room, it was the creator, the girl was talking to, and his best friend. The two of them and the three of us. Not much happened that first night, just some drinking and talking at a table. The guy's friend had been passing flirts at me the entire night, but because he was the oldest in the room, we assumed he didn't know my age. Later that night...
How old was he again? 26 and she's 18? Because, like, what are we talking about here? So because he's 26, and he's flirting with an 18-year-old, he must not know your age?